of looking at transformations is to express the new function in terms of the previous function without actually knowing the specifics. For example, I want to write g of x in terms of f of x and apply then this transformation to it. I don't need to know exactly what my f of x function is in order to write this basic symbological, to write it in terms of symbols. Symbologic, is that even a word? Anyway, so I'm going to be taking my f of x function and I'm going to translate it 3 units to the right and 2 units up. Now, when we talk about horizontal motion, those are inside the function. When we talk about vertical things, those are going to be outside the function. And that little trick will make most of this flow pretty easy. So, my g of x is going to be made up of f of x. So there's my f. I'm going to be doing things to it. When I talk about going 3 units to the right, that's a horizontal motion. And all horizontal is backwards, meaning normally right is positive, so I'm going to be subtracting x minus 3. What that does now is it's going to say that whatever is inside my function, whatever's in the parentheses of it, if you will, I'm going to be subtracting 3 from those values, and that will move my whole graph 3 units to the right. 2 up. Now, it's a vertical movement, so it's outside the parentheses, so I tack on a plus 2. So in terms of symbols, this is telling me that translation, that g of x can be defined as taking whatever f of x was, plugging in an x minus 3 instead of just x, and then adding 2 to the whole shebang at the end. That will affect the change 3 right, 2 up. Similarly, let's talk about a horizontal compression of 1/5 and a reflection over the y-axis. Now, over the y-axis is another horizontal motion. So that means it's going to be inside the parentheses. It seems a little strange because when we think about the y-axis, we picture a vertical thing. So the y-axis runs up and down. But if I'm going to reflect over it, that's a horizontal reflection. So, horizontal compression of 1/5. Again, horizontal means it's inside the function. So g of x is going to be f. Now it's inside there, and because it's inside, I got to think backwards. So if it's a compression of 1/5, I'm going to be multiplying by 5. So g of x equals f of 5x. G of x equals f of 5x represents that horizontal compression of 1/5. I'm packing it all in there by a factor of 5. Now, with this reflection over the y, that's a horizontal motion, so it's inside. I change the sign in order to cause that. So that negative represents my reflecting over the y. The 5 represents a compression of 1/5. Since they're both horizontal, they're both inside the parentheses.